very talented.
All
But
right,
my
man.
second one is I just
We are, hey, Coach Vougar. So we're going live, and we're going to talk about your kids. I know we were talking before we
okay.
jumped
I'm
on,
ready.
but we're going to jump on. We're here on live tonight. We got a late start tonight. Coach Vougar was actually coaching at his clinic or his camp up there, or his club, VHW Wrestling Club up there in Nassau County, where he coaches young men and women up there. And I had the honor of meeting him this weekend. Thank you to the folks at CFWA at Lake Highland Prep. They had him in. He ran an absolute amazing clinic. If nobody's ever been to one of his clinics before, I highly recommend it. Very knowledgeable, and we had a great time. But we got him on tonight. He's if you don't know, Vougar Oroudjov. He's from, I'm going to totally mess this up, Azerbaijani SSR, Soviet Union. He was a two-time freestyle world champ at Russia, Olympic bronze medalist, and he took fourth in the Olympics as well. So he was a two-time Olympic athlete. He's now the assistant coach at Nassau Community College in East Garden City, New York, and the father of three amazing young men. One of them you guys know as Vitaly Oroudjov, who's doing okay with his wrestling career right now. And we've got him on the show today. And man, a lot of good stories I was reading about. But again, Coach Vougar, welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you having me.
Yeah, and thanks for coming down to Florida and doing that great clinic you did over at CFWA. It was awesome, and I posted
Thank
a little
you.
video,
Thank you.
and I got a lot of great feedback. People were just best clinic I've ever been to. Wow, he's so knowledgeable. My girls paid so much attention to him. My boys just loved getting in there with him. So you touched a lot of hearts. So good
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good for you, man. So there's so much. First of all, real quick, if you want to see him again, he'll be at the Spartan Duels. He'll be there with probably wrestlers most likely, but he'll be at Gracie Barra, Jacksonville, May 29th to the 30th will be his next stint right after Jackson Barra, right after Gracie Barra. And he's got a Fargo camp coming up back at CFWA at Lake Highland Prep. He's also got a camp in Boca Raton coming up July 5th through the 10th. And I'll get all this stuff posted in the feeds for everybody once I get off. But yeah, man, if you can get by and see him, do it. So Vitaly, you started wrestling at 13 years old, very late for Russian wrestlers, and it worked out for you, huh?
Yes. You know what happened? I used to play soccer, and it was my older brother to get it, and we get fight every game. Yes, and the coach was tired from, and we fight to get it because he was older than me, and he always punched me, he kicked me, then I don't help him. So we lose, and he fight with me and he hit me, and in my country, I'm younger, so I never even took him back. So he was hitting me all the time, abusing me, and one day coach said, "You guys like too much fight. Why you don't want to go to just wrestle?" So have we, kind of kicked out from soccer, so we went to wrestling, and when I started wrestling, first I was thinking they hate me because I was 13, and actually after later on I find that they wasn't choking me, that with two hands, with that arm,
Oh,
so make me cry. So I remember every day I'm sitting, and after practice I'm sitting and crying, and the coach come, and my coach is one of his best people, and he always treat everybody same, beginner, champion, state champion, all. And he see it, and he's talking with me. He said, "How you feel?" I said, "Coach, I think they won't kill me." And what happened is I was small as kids, so I am about 90 pounds, and maybe not, maybe 75 pounds, maybe 75 pounds, and the next guy 120 pounds.
Oh,
So he says, I wrestled, they was 35 pounds, 40 pounds bigger than me. And they just, they wanted to make me quit. Yes.
and you
So kind
wouldn't.
of, but I did it. And, I remember it says, actually, I did quit. And after come home and I talked to my dad and he just said, start talking with me, said, listen, you got opportunity, you probably to go to college, but you're too soft to do it. He said, he says, yeah, he says, it was easy, everybody do it. But if you want to just, end up as me, my dad was truck driver. He said, you're going to become as me, truck driver. Okay. He said, okay. But you have opportunity, but you got to be tough up. And he just talked with me and didn't yell nothing. And he just left. And I was just saying, saying, you know what, I'm going to go back. So Hayes says, I come back, and the coach said, you didn't quit? I said, no. And everything was different after that. Actually, guys start really teaching me. And the Naz is, I think this is my beginning when I start wrestling. My first 2 months, all I was doing is stay wrestling position. Yes. Coach just to teach me wrestling position. My back was killing me. My neck was killing me. I wanted to, I just was sore. And he told me, listen, he says, is the has way, go. Or you're going to quit, or you're going to just stay good position, your back sore, but after you're going to get stronger and you're going to be, forget about, pain. So you have to push through.
And is this the
And
same?
yeah, and he wasn't, I don't know, it's just, you know, I guess everything training. So you train, you can train everything.
And
So
this is the
through
same
pain,
coach
of course,
that,
through pain.
and this is the same coach that you had until you were 25?
Yes, the same guy. I start 13 and I finished 25. All the time I have one coach.
And, and,
And the
and you moved,
and
you
we
had to
all
move this year,
actually,
right?
just actually he come is this last 2 years ago, he come to, to my gym and he helped me out, just I'm talking with him every week, we're talking, and all the time I have one coach. So he started with me teaching me wrestling position, and we went together to Olympics.
Wow.
And
How
yeah, and
awesome
he
was
was
that
telling me,
journey?
just we actually teach each other. He become better coach, and because he start traveling and going to high level tournaments. He told me, he said we helped each other.
Wow. And coming from that sort of process, how important was it? How important do you think it is to stay with one coach? We see a lot of, nowadays, obviously there's so many opportunities out there for kids. Uh, what do you think the benefit was for you to stay and stay on that path as opposed to thinking, okay, well, I'm not getting any success here. Let me move to the next one. Let me move to the next one. Let me move to the next one.
You know what happens is, my dad he was loyal guy. Yes, and even I of course I get a lot of recruit. Yes, and when you start winning state title, everyone wants you in his gym. Yes, and Russia same, but it wasn't even, then I gonna move. You understand? I mean, this is because it's it's not wasn't an option. My dad said, okay, you have coach, you win, you lose, you stay with him, and that's it. And after he says, I start, training with him, and he told me, this first day, if you one day you're gonna sink it, better than your coach, then you're done. So you always have coach, better. So you have to listen. Yes,
Yeah.
of course we're gonna be to winning and lose. Every time you lose is a coach's mistake,
Wow.
and no, it's our mistake. it's kind of, we were talking, it's beginning, just, and he wasn't kind of give me all vision, you have to vision, you're gonna go to Olympics, and you have to vision about it. Oh, really? I come actually in the gym and talk to my friends. I told them, you know what? I you see, I gonna be world champ. As they start make fun of me, yes, because I was a worst kid in the gym. Yes, I start 13, they start 5 years old. Yes,
Yeah.
and as they talking about, you know, state championships. I don't know what they talking about. And that was just, they all state champions. They going to tournaments. I don't know anything. Yes, but it's this, and I was telling them, since coach told me you're gonna be world champions, they say, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it's this, it really is this, you thinking back, is that destiny? It's this, you meet the guy who is actually my coach. Never was a really good wrestler. He's when he was 17 years old, he hurt his shoulder, so he stopped wrestling when he's 17.
Started
Before he was
taking,
before in national, cadet national, just, and he hurt his 17 years old his shoulder, and he never wrestled and become coach.
that's how some of the
And
best
the
coaches are
and
made.
he told me, just later on, he had his so many better talents than I. He got better than I am, but he didn't know how to handle it. He told me, before you, I burned a lot of kids, but I learned from. So he said, I'm not gonna burn you. And then there is this, we all get hurt. Some is this small injury, hurt my knee, and he's no, training. You're gonna go to physical therapy. So I never had any surgery because my coach always protect me. Usually, coaches said, we're going to tournament. Yes, suck him in, ice it. But my coach was an opposite. And we all completely different people. I mean, so we go to tournament. I didn't care who I wrestled, says, and my coach was so, it's just stress. So he was smoking cigarette nonstop. You're gonna wrestle that guy. You're gonna wrestle. Listen, coach. It's okay. We are gonna wrestle. You don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna go punch his nose. I'm gonna win. Don't worry.
But
He was just so worried. He scared everyone. I said, "You're gonna Zach." I said, "Coach, I just pinned him last month. He didn't get any better. He's don't worry." He wasn't so afraid. We got to tournament. He never slept. He was just smoking cigarette in balcony all night.
so this is
He's
your
that kind
coach.
of, and it's just, even, it's just, I remember I did something wrong. Even, I did something, even discipline. I did something, break some discipline, or I lose the match. You won't get yelled. But my coach never yelled. He calm. He
And,
just he
and
hugged
what,
me.
you almost lost him when you were 18 years old, right?
Yes.
Because
And
the war
but
started,
it's
right?
just my coach. Yes, but it's just my coach never yelled. He always, it's completely, opposite me. Just I guess, it's just stress out. Yes, when is this guy's, I don't understand, how this guy hit you and hit him back. Yes. My coach was different. He said, okay, he come to hit you. Don't worry about he hitting. It's the focus you take down, because
Yeah,
he
you,
don't know
you
better.
spoke a
He
little
just
bit.
come to hit you.
You spoke a little bit. I remember watching an interview, and you spoke a little bit about when you. I think you were asked when you started wrestling the Americans, and they would come like hammers, and they would try to break you or try to hurt you, and you would wait for them to come aggressive, and you'd shoot or you'd hit or you'd slide.
Yes. So we, this coach was telling us, listen, wrestling is not bodybuilding. Yes. You wrestle that guy, you go with this guy, look big, and the coach, oh, nice. You wrestle some bodybuilder. He's not wrestler. Wrestling no looks at. It's kind of what mentality would, put us in. Okay, he's so strong. You're gonna get tired fast. So stay on him. And we American wrestling, says we know about American wrestling, and they gonna wrestle to end. Because now I know it's a folk style, it's everything conditioning. So they're gonna go, they're not gonna get tired. Yes.
Right.
So, but in Russia, our system, ours is wrestling, then everything relaxed, yes, and explore. It's really, it's a freestyle about, you looks and you're tired, but you're not tired. He's kind of, it's this your plan. You show him you're tired, but he just to get out from position, you take him down.
Yeah,
So he says,
when you
when
watch,
I grew up in Russia, the system was when you wrestle, not just to go, in America, go finish him. Yes. Go finish him. But in Russia, it wasn't that first, don't give up nothing. Don't give up your position. Don't give up your tight. So that wasn't, this our is this mission. You wrestle to not give up. Is the point. And if you pin up somebody, easily kill them, 10-0, 12-0, it's not really professional. You understand? I mean, it's more professional. You win somebody 2-0 and you control, that if you win somebody 10-0, his guy not that good. Yes,
Yeah.
you're not gonna beat good guy 10-0.
I was watching, I don't know what I was watching, but the guy said, I was studying the Russians, and the Russians wrestle in these quick bursts. Like they relax, defense, and then boom, they go for like 30 seconds hard, and then they get back into position. Is that kind of what you were talking about, where we relax, attack?
Yes, and exactly. And we have these camps, and we wrestle situation. Example, you down, 10-second left. You need to find your takedown. Is this, are you winning, 30-second left? What you gonna do? We have that plan, then, you 10-second, you're winning. What are you gonna do? Run it out? No. You're gonna tie them up, get the Russian tied, you get the underhook. You understand? I mean, we have that is trained for position. So if I'm winning 1-0, I'm not gonna go to dead defense. I'm gonna wait your mistake. So in Russia, teach us that if you're winning, other guys have to open up because he's losing. He have to open up. He have to do something to win. Yes.
Yes.
And you wait that opening to take him down. So he says, if I am winning, I'm not defensive guy. I am guy to who gonna look the opportunity. If you do bad shot, I'm gonna go behind you. You fake, I'm gonna reshot you. You understand? I'm not gonna take, of course, chances, but I'm not gonna go to dead defense because I get stall call, I can lose. So it wasn't that kind of wrestling. You defensive. You stay good position. But if you have good opportunity to take him down, you are. But you're not gonna go open up first because you're winning.
So yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I could see when you were teaching this weekend. But all right, so we move on. You obviously you ended up in the Olympics, world champ, 2 Olympic medals. You were coaching out in California, right? And you get this phone call, and it's like, hey, come out to the East Coast, and you're looking at these different schools. I mean, Hofstra, NYU, and Nassau Community College.
Yes.
And you talked about some people that really were helping you out or mentoring you, and Rex Brown and Coach Schmidt, and and you ended up. What was that process like, coming over and making a decision, and you finally settled in Nassau?
So when I come to this country, 2000, we come to 2000. All my friends went to Olympics, and I come to America. Yes.
Yeah.
So is my high school friend. His name Vladimir. Vladimir Matushchenko. He actually he did UFC. He is a generator.
Wow.
So he was in his coaching and lesson college in Susanville, California. So he called me my first day in America. He said, Vougar, I talked to coach and they want you here. What do you plan? I said, I have no plan. I just come. It's a different country. I don't know what I'm gonna do. He said, you want to come and coach. And but I was on listen. I don't know folk style. I don't know any English. It's a word. I just come. Just he was. Uh, but he was telling me, listen, let's come and try. So a guy named is Rex Branham. He fly to New York. My first day is in America. So he buy me a ticket and they take me in Susanville, California. And we come in his house and we're sitting and talking. And he opened to me a bottle of beer and give me, say, oh, Vougar. And I'm not drinking. And he told Vladimir, is he need job? He was in kind of my job interview. So if you drink, you have job. Yes. So he was actually my, okay, I drink, you need job. Yeah, take it. Okay. And the Rex is his, one is his best people I ever met. I mean it. He's right now he live in Reno, Nevada. He actually retirement and he teaching his kids how to driver ed. And he actually was in Texas. He come to support Vito in Olympic trial.
Oh, nice.
So it's this Rex is the best. So I worked for Rex 3.5 years, and that was a fun part. And I have this guy named Richard Pavlikonis. So he's from Lithuania, and he wrestled for us. So I'm his coach in Lassen College. So we don't speak English. We don't know rules. And we ask Rex, with finger language, why is that nobody lock hand? We're thinking, why nobody guard French? Why is everybody grab elbow? And the Rex always chew tobacco. He said, you learn, it's okay. Don't worry, you learn. So we're going to tournament, yes. So we training 3 months. We guard wrench everybody. We supple everybody, and nobody even tell us rules. So we don't know rules, yes. So Paul Richard wrestle, and he losing, every matches. He lock hand, losing point, and I remember he winning the guy, and the guy stand up, and Richard's very tall guy, yes. He actually coaching is in Chicago, some club. So guy stayed up. Richard picked him up and they supple him, and it was beautiful. And he get up. Guy didn't get up, so Richard got DQ. And we said, what's going on with Rex? He said, hey, don't worry, you learn. So we wrestled November, entire month November, and December, middle December, we're going to Reno, Nevada, Reno tournament champions. So we're going there, and we meet the guy. Guy name is Tomayev, Marat Tomayev, and he wrestled for Penn State. He's from Ossetia. So we meet the guy, Russian guy. This kind of, and we start listening. I don't know why. This we got suppled the guy, and we lost. We asked. He said, "Nah." After a month and a half in season, he said, you guys don't know rules? I said, no. So he started teaching us rules in tournament, yes? So we're writing. So he said, you can do that. You can do. So we didn't even know what we're doing, yes? And we learned it as rules. And actually that year, Richard wanted Juco National. So yeah, we learned how to,
You learn how to do.
didn't know rules. Yes. And Rex was okay. Yeah, oh, you guys know how to wrestle. And I said, yeah, because this guy named Marat teach us rules. We just didn't know rules. So it was great time. And I was in coaching there 3.5 years with Rex. And I get opportunity to my wife. I loved it, but my wife didn't like it. My wife, a fashion designer. She make the clothes. And a small town, she was dying. She
Oh.
said, we're going to New York. She said, we didn't come to America to live in small town. Okay. So we moved to New York. So we come to New York, and again is this. I looked to opportunities. I went to Hofstra. I run to practice there, and I beat the NYU coach, and I get offers a job, but I went to Nassau, coming to college, and run to practice there, and meet the coach. And the only guy who didn't really promise anything, it was NASA coming to college. He wasn't down to earth, and he offered me probably smallest money, but explained me that listen, it's a county job. If you keep stuff together, if you don't get trouble, you're gonna move up. So, and what I choose NASA college, and I work for Coach Paul Schmidt. He's the actually fireman, New York City fireman. He was in fireman in New York City, and he's the real hero. And this we long time to get it, only 17 years to get there. And he told me about his fire job, how many lives he saved. He don't talk much, but he's he's a real hero. And he wasn't teaching me how to coach. Again, he's come to say, listen, this kid's not as you. They're different. We all different. If they was you, they went to Olympics. End up junior college.
Yeah.
So you have to explain them more. You have to motivate them more. And I learned, every season you do some mistake and you learn from. You say, you know what, next year I'm gonna do different, But junior college kids every year say they just name different. You get, get trouble, you get underprivileged kids, you get trouble kids. But end of the day, if you help just one kid, you go through that all process, end up Division 1, you do your job. Junior college is very hard place to coach because you can't train kids and they wrestle with them 3 months and the next semester he just no show up. He said, I don't want to wrestle anymore. He's a different kind of kid, but I love it. It's just
What happened when Coach Schmidt looked at your resume?
So I bring my resume to Coach Schmidt. It was tournaments going on. I give it to him as my resume, and he wasn't stay with his friend named Ricky Morales, and Ricky said, Paul, give it to him. It's my resume. And Ricky looked and said, Paul, you're gonna get your job. He gonna take your job soon. You know that, yes? Don't hire him. He's gonna take your job. He wasn't that, they make fun of him. And they end up, we work together. And this is to be a good wrestler and become the coach is big gap. Is coaching all about experience and to learn, because my coach was telling me same. He said, I learn from you. You learn be coach from kids. From it's not just a technique. Technique, then changing, yes, but basics stay. Basics win the big matches. Yes, you stay in basics. Not fancy stuff. Stay in basics. Yes, every
yes,
big match win the basics.
absolutely.
But is that coaching? That to have deal not just with kids, with teachers. That I remember this one kid. He didn't pass his classes. So, and in college, we know each other. So is this? So is coach going to talk to teacher, and is a good friend? Yes, and coach is the professor. So he going to talk with his teacher to help our wrestler, and he said, this is good kids, blah 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 blah. That maybe you can help him out, get him another test, maybe stuff that. And the professor tell him, listen, Paul, I'm gonna give you a question. He said, okay. He say, so if kids never show up in practice entire season, and he just show up before regional, he said, coach, I won't go national. Do you gonna take him to national? Coach, no. And he said, how you want to I give it the guy great? He's never show up in my class. Okay, so I come and said, no, forget about that kid. He's not gonna pass his classes. So he said, I after this guy, professor talked to me, I just walked away. So it's this coaching is a lot of a lot of politics, a lot of even in tournament, is this even referee wrong, you can't even yell. You just say, bite your lips and said, breathe and and okay, let go. It's okay. If bad call already done, you're not gonna go fight because next somebody gonna call you athletics. You don't want to be that guy. So it's coaching is in college is a little bit harder. I will think. In Russia, you can yell. You watch Russian wrestling, yes, and some of these guys put the gun out. Some it's different. They wild, wild. They think American wild. No, Russians wild.
Russians wild, yeah.
Kids is you can't even say something. You can argue, you can lose your job. Kids come, I remember it's some, actually good wrestler. I wasn't pushing him. I was pushing him hard, and he was the champ. And one day his dad called me. He said, "Listen, can you stop pushing my son? Little, I said, "What do you mean?" He said, I know you want the best for my son, but my son gonna quit." I'm okay, but I want your son with the national, and he's not good. If wasn't not good, I don't push him. Listen, we all have different skill. If kids I know he's not gonna make all American, I'm okay what he do. I like it. He be respectable kids. Respect his teacher. Respect his friends. But I'm not gonna make him do the true practice day. I'm not gonna chase him.
Right.
But if I know this guy gonna win the national title, he have that agility. You understand what I mean? He have that gift. Of course, I'm gonna push him. I'm gonna, winter break is no school. Of course, they're gonna chase him to work with him one-on-one stuff. That it's just because I want to win.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, not just that, but lately, this you feel that coaches wanted to more than kids.
Yeah.
Kids is, I don't know. Of course, I have some kids. Always have 1, 2 kids want to win, but majority want to be in the team, in national champion team, but not gonna. They don't want to be champion.
No. Hey, so before we get into my fun 10 questions there and stuff, two last questions. So Tell us about the match at Junior Nationals where you're down 2-0 and you end up
Yeah, he was
turning around.
actually this uh, guy named Mamurov. He took third in Olympics in Atlanta. So 114. He wrestled. Yeah, he took third. So we wrestled with him. We was 17 years old. In it's junior national, and he's he's good wrestler. Yeah, he's tough wrestler, very good in conditioning, and he's not excused. I was actually a little bit sick, so match wasn't come up. He was winning me 2-0. Yes, and I look up the clock. I think it was in 17 seconds, and in my head I said, I lost. Yes, and I'm just stop. I take, and my coach was saying, something, just stop 1 second. Where you at? Yes, next, I just, and the guy come, hit, push, 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 and I just said, oh, all right, gonna go to out from Matt, but he walked to me. I swept him and grabbed his ankle, left him up. Yes, and I pick him up, and he jumping. He jumping. Yeah, all he have to do just go his belly, give up to 1 point, 2-1, and he win. Yes.
Yeah.
And he don't want to give the point. He jumping, jumping, and I catch this in air, swept his leg, and he fall down on his neck. Yes. 3.
Three.
And it's his match over. So I went 3-2. Yes. and we all good friends. He's going out and see, and he just so upset. And we have actually before match, I take my clothes, off in a mat, and he put them there. So we got together, pick up his clothes, and he's so upset. I'm so, yo, why you didn't give up the point? And he said, I don't know. I didn't want to give it to you anything. and he said, okay. And he was in actually semifinals. And he said, it's okay, you win, but you have to win the national. So if you beat me, I want you become the national champion. I said, okay, And he was wrestling with other guy. And the other guys is actually, in final, I wrestled a guy named Namik Abdullah. And he became Olympic champion in 2000. He beat Sami Hansen in the final.
Oh.
So I wrestled with him in final, but we both from Azerbaijan, so I know him. So mentally, I know I'm gonna win him. I think I win 7-0. And with him is we have so many matches. If he take you down first, he's gonna win. He's so defensive. So if you want to beat him, you need to have first takedown. So I know that. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have the first takedown.
Yeah.
But it says we still, we're good friends. Actually, he's now coaching Azerbaijan national senior team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's the coach. And we're good friends. Wrestling is our job.
Yeah.
Only we're fighting 6 minutes after we're friends in life.
That's what I love about. That's why I fell in love with the sport when my son found it, because I see all that happens. My last question before we get into the little fun stuff that I do is you have 3 boys, man. Talk about them. I know we obviously know what Vito is doing as wrestling fans and where he's at now. How proud are you of him, and how proud are you of the 2 young ones coming up, and who's going to be the best one out of the 3?
Is my older son Nick. He's probably was better athlete, but I screw up. I start pushing him, and he was in 3-time New York State champ. He went to in American University first year. Coach Mark Corey, recruit him. after Mark Corey left American to Oklahoma, so he's kind of, what I gonna do? He didn't want to go to Oklahoma. My wife didn't want to send him too far away. So he come home and he went to Cornell. So he went to Cornell. He made the national. He won one match and lost two. And he didn't really, he liked it, but he didn't love it. And one day he told me that he wrestled because he know how much I like wrestling. He wrestled to make me happy. I said, what? I said, no, you can't say that. I love you. I just said, I just, it's kind of break my heart, that I wasn't, yes, I love wrestling, but I was thinking he like it too, but you're not doing for me, you're doing for yourself. So, but I love him. My older son is, I learn from him. So he graduated, he's working in finance. He graduated Cornell finance. He's doing well. Actually, we're talking every day. We're friends. Now he actually come practice more than he did when he was wrestle.
And he probably loves it again.
Oh yeah, he did probably. Now is after this Nick Vito starts, and Vito, I don't want you tell me you're doing wrestling because I like wrestling.
So
He
you
said,
learned.
no, that I very like it. I'm okay. Then I support you, but don't tell me you wrestle because me. And with Vito, this he, we went to this 8th grade. He liked to wrestle. We went to 8th grade to wrestle Super 32, and in middle school, and he had very close match with guy Yanni Takmahalas. Yes, and
His teammate now, right?
yes, and after we come back, he lost him. I said, no, we're gonna beat that kid. Yes. So we trained. We went to New York State. He's 8th grade, and they wrestled with Yanni. They wrestled overtime, nothing, and they go triple overtime. So they want to ride out. So Yanni took top and ride him out 30 seconds.
Ah,
So after that, and we start. I met his dad, Yanni's dad. His name Aliyah. So we become friends. So is this? I used to with Nick. I used to be to drive to Ohio. I used to drive to a place called Perry Massillon. Is this a good friend of mine? Is a guy named Ricks, Dave Ricks. So used to be taking this Nick to Ohio, and we train in Perry Massillon. Yes, I take my guys. We stay in a hotel. We wrestle Friday, Saturday, and Sunday back, and almost every month. Yes. So now with Vito, I meet Mr. Takmahalis, and he driving little shoulders, and he like wrestling, and we become friends. So every 2 weeks I drive to Rochester, we train with them, and another 2 weeks they come to to Long Island. We train here, and Yanni, and with Yanni, Vito start like wrestling more because Yanni love wrestling. Yes, he's that one guy who wake up 7 a.m. First he doing, he's open the floor account and watching floor wrestling before school. Yes. So he's the guy who is before school watch the floor wrestling. He love it. Yes. And with him, actually Vito start like it more. Because who your friend, who you are. Yes.
right.
So it is kind of this he liked it. And but then person, this listen, I like kid. My kids grow up good people. Is this, they respect their mom. They respect their friends. You understand what I mean? Is this in life? You all you want your kids be good people and healthy.
Absolutely.
And the rest thing is this. You like it? I love it. Listen, I want my kids to wrestle. Is this wrestling ain't gonna hurt you.
Right.
Yes, you're gonna have wrestling friend for life. But I really didn't push Vito. Vito just liked it. And the now my younger son George is
Is he the one? Is George the one that was down here?
yes, George is this, he's traveled with me. He's a junior in high school. And with him is this, he don't have that much skill, but he's tough kid. He has his own path. He's very good in top bottom. It's just and I don't it's just all off seasons, stuff that everybody lose a lot of, weights 3 days before weigh-in, stuff that really I don't do that because for me this high school wrestling is not important. I want my kids wrestling in college. You understand? I mean, if you're that tough guy, show me you wrestle in college. So high school, is not, so for me, it's okay, your high school, state champ, okay, it's good, but hey, show me all American in college. Doesn't matter what division, Division One, Division Two, Division Three, NIA, or junior college, doesn't matter. If you're all American in college, you're the tough guy. You sacrifice a lot. You understand what I mean? You lose a lot of weight, you get pushed. So you student athlete. That account. I want my kids wrestling in college.
So you don't
Even
make them do the you don't require the weight cuts and all that stuff in off season.
what happens is you can lose the fat, but you can't lose your muscle.
Right.
You understand? I mean, it's this, and in my house wasn't kind of rules. My wife said she's not mind kids wrestle, but she mind, they suffer. So she wanted to have dinner. She said
Yeah.
if they eating dinner, they can wrestle. So my kids, little bit, but they have dinner. Actually, Vito's senior years, he was in. I coached the kids. His name Chakore Timmer. He's actually wrestled Arizona State. So I coached them with Vito's. Is together. So I was they kind of was same size. I told the Vito, you know what? You're gonna up weight class because you older. He said okay. And the end up is this Chakore grew, but Vito didn't grow anyway. And Jacora had to lose weight. He was dying, and he don't like it. And we're going every dual miss. Vito was in 6 pound underweight. We're going to Eastern State. I said we have dinner. After dinner, he was 6 pound under. And Jacora run in. He's just dying. And New York is this rules. If you wrestle in season, you have to wrestle your own weight class 50% your matches. So you have to make 50% weight.
Wow.
So he would have to make weight. He was dying, but Vito never really lose the weight. That
So
reason, he
you're
going to college, everybody, how you going to wrestle in high school 140, not wrestle 125? But he never was 140. It's this kind that he was an up weight class.
he just wrestled 140.
And my wife told me that, then, hey, let him to go up weight, let him to lose. When he lose, he gonna work harder. So we kind of push him hard, up weight class. We wanted to lose. When you lose, you work harder.
So you didn't
Losing
really
is hurt.
didn't
Losing
really,
is really hurt.
so you didn't really care what they did in high school as long as they made it to college.
Yeah, 100%. If you wrestle, but is that how I look wrestling? Wrestling high school for what? If you're not going to college, if you don't look the scholarship, you understand why you to become our county is you better focus your schoolwork. If you wrestle in high school, you want to go college. How I think. I look at the high school wrestlers and opportunity to go college.
Well, you're 2 for 2 so far, right?
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, two went to Cornell.
And
So
you
is
got
this
one more behind you, and I'm sure Cornell's got their arms wrapped around him already.
I hope so. I hope so. We're loyal family. It's this, and it's that reason I have is all my life one coach. So
Now, does the little one wrestle with the younger Diakomahalis?
yeah, they actually practiced today together.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, today he got asking, but Always.
Yeah, he's pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Hey, so
he is. George's is different, but I am nice as middle age. Yes, I'm enjoy my everyday.
yeah.
You understand? I mean, I'm enjoy every day, and even I remember, just couple months ago, I said, he says he lost the match. He come, he's so upset, and I'm slow down. Is the process.
I try to
We
tell my
learn
son,
from.
I've learned from talking to all these amazing people. So I never wrestled a day in my life. My son was being bullied in school because he was always the smaller kid because he was a grade ahead. And then they started a wrestling program. So he's 12 or 13 or whatever, and he finds the wrestling mat. He goes 0 and 33. And then someone tells us about this wrestling club in Orlando. So I take him there, and he ends up making it to regionals next year. And then this year, we didn't have that much of an off season. He did okay. He's getting better. But then when he loses, he gets that, oh my God, I'm working. I still suck. I'm working. I'm still suck. What am I doing wrong? And I keep trying to say, look, I've talked to 500 people in the last year, and they all tell me that it's okay. You're not there yet, but keep going. The process is
But
working.
you see what happened, and he's good. He's thinking that way. You understand? I mean, we can support him, but he have to angry. It says when you lose, it's hurt. If you're
Yeah.
comfortable to lose, you're not gonna get better. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't be comfortable to lose. You understand? I mean, it's hard. Losing is
Yeah,
hard.
it
Of
sucks.
course, you're gonna breathe, but you start thinking a lot. I remember, it's just when I was losing, I lose a lot. You feel that somebody died in your family. I mean, it's a weird feeling. Yes,
Every
I
time.
don't talk no one. I don't want to watch TV. And after 2 days, you say, listen, you did something wrong. You lost because you didn't work hard. Yes, when is this? Everybody was wrestle. You wasn't hang out with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
So now you're gonna cut little down. That
yeah.
spend
That's what.
time more in wrestling room.
Yeah, I remember. I was lucky. I had Yanni on early on when I had this show. Somebody referred him in, and I had him on. And I would love to have him on again now that I actually know what I'm talking about. So Yanni, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on again. Maybe you can help me out. But um, he said something really cool to me. He said that people worried about, did I lose my childhood or did I not have a normal childhood? And he said, well, if you want to be normal, then go do what all the other kids your age are doing. But if you want to be great, you need to make those sacrifices to be great.
That is right. Just actually when you wrestle, you don't miss anything. That he's going out drinking stuff. You know what it is? You're not missing anything.
Right.
I looked at, I'm 49, yes, and I looked back. I remember, we sitting sauna, losing weight. That I says with my friend. I was thinking I'm gonna die, yes, and actually it was a great, story. So we sitting together, and they losing, in sauna, and they have a small water hole. My friend lay down, and he put his mouth and open. That probably they washing legs. He
Yeah.
drinks that water. Going out, coach check our weight. He gained weight, and he was so pissed. He said, "What you guys eat shit there? What you guys did there?" Yes.
Yeah.
So and it was cold, and they make us dress up, and they go to run outside to make weight. Yes. I it was. I look at the back. It wasn't hard. Yes. Now he was best time of my life. I mean it. I
Yeah. You
mean it.
don't miss it.
This
You don't regret any of
party stuff. Is that all this is not important. Listen, I'm 49. I can drink any day I want.
it.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can go party anyone. It's party always gonna be there. You understand what I mean? And I told my guys too, say, listen, wrestling is life is short, and you're gonna take advantages because wrestling is just is that injury sport. You can get injured, you're done. Yes. And now you say, oh my God, I wish I could. So before you're in college, enjoy your college life, but use it for education and for wrestling. It's this trouble. You don't need trouble because you're gonna, ruin your life. But again, it's just, it's just you look to back, yes, they singing, they have better life. You can't go club stuff that, but it's not better life.
No.
Better life when you wrestle, you go to church, you do pray, you understand what I mean? You call to your grandma, you ask her what has she doing. That
That's
is good
good
life.
life.
You go to help your dad.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
good
actually
stuff.
I wasn't watching today Flow Show has this what his name is this Jaden Cox show. They was talking about his family has his brother get kidney failed. It's a disease, and the soulmate says that hurt more than I didn't make weight. Of course, you understand what I mean? Is it something is more important? It's a
Yeah.
family.
And
You
forget
understand what I
that
mean? It's just
pound, right?
I know. But what is this? I looked at my wrestling life. It's a good life. My best friend, Dave Musulbes, we wrestled together. That we still call each other. He's not kids. I was in a school together. These kids we wrestle together. We wrestling friend for life. You call
Yeah,
every week each other.
it's awesome,
He's
man.
he's the different. Wrestling life.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're a proud papa. All right, let's wrap this up. You ready?
Yes.
All right, so I did some research here. Let's see if I can say this right. I do like these 10 questions. You ready? Um, Borscht or Solyanka?
Borscht.
Borscht. That's like the red beet soup, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Gut wrench
With
or leg
cabbage. With
lace?
cabbage.
With cabbage. Gut
Cabbage.
wrench or leg lace?
Orange.
All right, I'm going to try this again. Peroski or pelmeni?
Korosko.
Yeah, piroshki?
Pirashki.
Yeah, or pelmeni?
Pirashki.
Piroshki, okay. Suplex or arm throw?
Suplex.
Okay. Bellini or Smetna?
What?
I have no idea. I think they're like some type of pancake.
Blini. Blini.
Blini. Yeah, there we go.
Blini. I like blini. Yes.
Half or cradle?
Credo.
All right, here we go again. I'm going to totally screw this up. Morageno or Pashka?
Morozhna.
Morozhna. All right. I'm doing okay here.
Yeah, you getting it.
A double or a sweep single?
Double.
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 All right.
My shot is double. I love double.
I'm double. Shashlik or beef stroganoff?
Shashlik.
Shashlik. That's like pinchos, like kebab, right?
Kebab. Yeah, shish
Yeah.
kebab.
Yep. High C or ankle pick?
High C.
High C. Man, first of all, it was really nice to meet you this weekend, and my
Nice
son
to
had a
meet you too.
blast. And I hope that everybody he gets to meet, he takes something from it, and learns. And thank you so much for coming on. And
I would like to tell thank you to doing this show. doing for free, and they promote to wrestling, and what wrestlers we need. We need more promotion, and people is this regular, kids, high school kids, that kids who just start wrestling can listen, and actually they can get, maybe you do some, they can give it a question.
Yeah.
Then it's good to promote wrestling, and we need to to bring more kids to wrestling, because that gonna save a lot of lives, and it changed a
Absolutely.
lot of lives.
And I hope if one, I hope I've influenced somebody.
You are.
Well, and I look forward to seeing you again. My son, well, Mike will have some teams up there at the Spartan
Yes, yes,
CFWA.
sir,
So
yes,
we'll see you up there. And then I know you guys are setting up dates for you to come in back to Lake Highland Prep CFWA. And
yes.
then maybe I'll take a drive down to Boca with my son July 5th and see you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you very much.
Take care. Have a good night.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.